How were children depicted symbolically in medieval art? Imagine looking at a painting of a child and seeing a tiny adult instead of a little kid with chubby cheeks and playful eyes. In medieval times, that was often the case. Artists did not paint children as we see them today. Instead, they showed them as small versions of grown-ups. This was not about making art look realistic but about sharing important beliefs. Back then, people thought children were not completely different from adults. They believed children should learn morals and discipline early. The church even said that children became responsible for their actions at around 7 years old. So, artists showed children as miniature adults to remind viewers that childhood was a short step before becoming full-grown. One famous example is how they painted baby Jesus. Instead of a chubby-cheeked baby, he was often shown with the features of a small adult. This was to show that Jesus was divine from the start. Artists wanted to tell us that Jesus was both fully God and fully human, even as a baby. These images were more about teaching religious ideas than about how children really looked. You might also see children in medieval art standing stiff and formal. Their poses were serious, not playful or relaxed. This was meant to symbolize purity, piety, and moral strength. Sometimes, artists added a sense of dignity to children, showing them as symbols of innocence and divine wisdom. In some later artworks, you can find more natural scenes of mothers holding their children or children playing. But even then, children were often still depicted with adult-like features. The focus was on what they represented, moral lessons and religious truths, rather than on showing their real childhood experiences. In medieval society, art was used to teach lessons. Children were shown as small adults to remind everyone that they should learn quickly and adopt good morals. These images reinforce the idea that childhood was a brief phase of moral training before adulthood. So, when you look at medieval art, remember that children were not shown as cute or playful. Instead, they were symbolic figures that expressed ideas about morality, divine nature, and societal expectations. Their tiny, adult-like appearances told stories about what was expected of children and how they fit into the spiritual and social world of the Middle Ages.